Welcome to PM Ready, your guide to becoming PMP certified. This is the lesson on executing, monitoring, and controlling quality. As you can see from this table, the quality management knowledge area has just 3 quality processes. The first is in the planning process group and is plan quality management. Then comes manage quality in the executing process group, and control quality in the monitoring and controlling process group. You may wonder, what's the difference between manage quality and control quality? In this lesson, we'll get into those detailed differences, but I'll give you a preview. Executing processes are all about doing work, and monitoring and controlling processes are all about keeping an eye on the work. The manage quality process has as its primary outputs quality reports and test and evaluation documents. Control quality has as its outputs quality control measurements and verified deliverables. Let's take a look at how these processes fit together. We'll start with manage quality here in the middle of this diagram. Manage quality has as a main output quality reports. These reports go off to other project processes and also to quality control. Quality reports are used in communications management as inputs to create different communications to stakeholders that include information, among other things, information about the quality of the project and the project work. Manage quality also has test and evaluation documents as an output. These documents are more like templates or instructions to the control quality process. They're the documents that control quality needs to use, including the instructions on how to use them, in order to keep an eye on and monitor and control quality on the project. These test and evaluation documents are based on organizational process assets that may be specified by the quality management plan. Now let's move to the control quality process. It has quality metrics coming in from the quality management plan, which it then uses to create quality control measurements based on these metrics and guidelines and raw data. It also takes this raw work performance data and analyzes it and produces work performance information, which then feeds into the managed quality process. Control quality also has a main purpose of taking the deliverables and the work performance data about those deliverables, combining those with the quality requirements from the plan and following the rules and guidelines of the plan to verify the deliverables. And so it has as an output verified deliverables, which are an input to validate scope, which you'll remember is the process in which you get customer acceptance of these deliverables. In summary, control quality is about doing the measurements of the quality and verifying deliverables to make sure that they meet quality requirements, while manage quality is about providing the information and guidance to control quality along with the quality management plan so that control quality can measure these things appropriately, and providing the quality reports used elsewhere in the project. The manage quality process is the process of translating the quality management plan into the executable quality activities that are performed by manage quality as well as control quality. Managed quality is also sometimes known as quality assurance. It implements the design guidelines to make sure that you're building quality into the product. Managed quality performs quality audits and failure analysis. It confirms that your quality processes are being used and that these processes meet your quality objectives, and helps you to improve the efficiency and effectiveness of your project activities. The main outputs of managed quality are the quality reports and the test and evaluation documents. The quality reports include a summary about the quality overall, identifies issues, and provides recommendations for changes to processes, corrective and preventive actions, and so forth. The test and evaluation documents are used by the control quality process to do the measurements that are needed. The change requests are there because you may find that you need to make some changes in order to manage quality and improve things. If you have to make any changes to things that have been baselined, such as your scope, schedule, and cost baselines or your project management plans, then you'll need those change requests. And of course, you'll need to update your issue log with any quality issues that are discovered, and any risks that are identified go into the risk register, or any changes to those risks. And any lessons learned regarding managing quality should go into your lessons learned register. The inputs to manage quality include the quality management plan, which the managed quality process translates into things that need to be done. The quality metrics also from your plan quality management process. These quality metrics are used as the basis for your test and evaluation documents that then go to control quality, as well as for ideas on process improvement. Your quality control measurements come from your control quality process. Your risk report, which includes information about overall risk exposure that can affect your quality. Your lessons learned register that can contain information from previous phases of your project that can provide details of quality issues that have come up and how they've been managed and what's worked and what hasn't. And your organizational process assets. Useful organizational process assets include your quality management system of your organization, including all of your policies, procedures, and guidelines for quality. Hopefully, you'll also have some quality templates, including things like check sheets and traceability matrices, test plans and test documents that have been useful in the past. Also, results from previous audits of quality on previous projects, and your lessons learned repository with all sorts of other lessons learned about quality on previous projects. Some of the tools and techniques of the managed quality process include data gathering. One that's specifically mentioned is checklists, which can be useful to you in making sure that you're following all the right steps that you should be. And various data analysis techniques, including alternatives analysis, as you consider lots of different ways in which you can manage quality and control it. Document analysis, including analysis of things like quality reports, performance reports, and variance analysis. These are the types of documents you'll need to analyze to see if your quality control measures are working and whether or not you have processes that are out of control. You also have process analysis, which you can use to look for opportunities for process improvement, and root cause analysis that you'll use for analyzing variances, defects, and risks to see if you can find the root causes of these. Some data representation tools and techniques of managed quality include affinity diagrams, which will allow you to explore potential causes of defects and organize these into logical groups. Cause and effect or Ishikawa fishbone diagrams that will allow you to do the same based on a certain effect or negative consequence, such as a defect. What are all the different causes that could have brought this about? Flowcharts can also be useful to help you see the different steps involved and help you see how those could have led to a defect and where a defect was introduced. Histograms can be used to explore and find patterns of different problems. Scatter diagrams are particularly useful if you compare quality measurements on one axis to other factors on the other, and you can look for different correlations. And then you can represent these different relationships between causes and factors and quality in various matrix diagrams. Other tools and techniques of managed quality include multi-criteria decision making, because you'll have lots of decisions to make as you deal with all of the different quality decisions and problems you may face. Audits, which should be structured and independent, and these audits are audits of your compliance to your organization's or industry's quality standards and policies. And these audits should include both the good news and the bad news, what you're doing well and where the gaps are. Audits can be useful not only for helping you to understand where you need to improve, but can provide lessons learned and guidance to others. Next, we have Design for X, which is a structured technical approach to designing specifically for certain kinds of things, such as manufacturing. You could design your product specifically so that it is easier or less expensive to manufacture. You could design it specifically so that it's more usable. You could design it for maximum safety or improved reliability or making it easier to service. You'll also have problem solving as a tool and technique, and your problem solving would be best if you use a structured approach. And you can also take advantage of quality improvement methods such as the PDCA cycle or Six Sigma to help you find ways in which you can improve your quality processes. Other examples of Design for X include designing for testing to make this easier to test, for minimizing risk on your project, for getting to market in the shortest amount of time possible, at the lowest possible cost. Or you could be designing for logistics to make this product something that is easy to transport and deliver to your customers. One of the more famous quality improvement models is the Plan, Do, Check, Act cycle, or PDCA cycle. This is often referred to as the Deming cycle, but it was actually attributed by Deming to Shewhart. The PDCA cycle is applied to a process that you want to improve. You plan what it is you'd like to change about the process, and then in the do step, you make a small test of that change. Then you check by evaluating the effects of that change, and then if it worked out, you act by making that change applicable more broadly. Another popular quality improvement model is the Six Sigma DMAIC model, which stands for Define, Measure, Analyze, Improve, and Control, in which you define the problem, measure to create a baseline of current performance, analyze to determine the root cause or causes, improve by removing those root causes, and controlling to make sure that those improvements stick. The outputs of the managed quality process are primarily the quality reports and test evaluation documents. But you may also need to issue some change requests to make changes to baselined documents. Inputs are primarily your quality control measurements and quality metrics, as well as your quality management plan. And tools and techniques, there are several different tools and techniques, from data gathering and data analysis to analyze issues, decision making, data representation, audits, designing for specific things, problem solving, quality improvement methods such as the PDCA cycle and the DMAIC cycle. The control quality process is focused on monitoring and recording the results of executing the quality management activities in order to assess performance and ensure that your project outputs are complete, correct, and that they meet your customer expectations. Control quality determines if the project outputs do what they're intended to do. Do they meet your quality requirements? It measures completeness, compliance, and fitness for use. Inputs include the deliverables that you'll be checking, as well as work performance data about those deliverables. You'll need to follow the rules in the quality management plan and use the metrics and test evaluation documents that you're given. There may also be some approved change requests that include corrective and preventive actions. And then there's the lessons learned and enterprise environmental factors and organizational process assets. Other inputs include the quality management software that you could find in your project management information system, as well as government and industry regulations and rules and standards and such. Also, your organization's quality policies, standards, templates, and your organization's issue and defect reporting procedures and policies regarding communication. Tools and techniques include checklists that you can use to make sure that you're following all of the right procedures and all the right steps. Check sheets, which you'll remember are tally sheets that are particularly useful in inspections to mark what kinds of defects you're finding. Statistical sampling, if you're not doing 100% inspection, you'll be doing statistical sampling. And it's important to know how to pick good samples. You may also be using questionnaires and surveys to measure things like customer satisfaction to help measure the external failure costs. Also, data analysis techniques such as performance reviews. Now, these are not performance reviews of individuals on your team. This is about measuring your quality metrics and comparing actuals to your requirements and reporting on your quality performance. And root cause analysis to find out the source of defects. Other tools and techniques include inspection, and this can take many different forms. Different sorts of reviews of your people's work, peer reviews in which team members review each other's work, structured independent audits, even walkthroughs of your products by sitting down with key stakeholders or customers and showing them how it works. You can also be doing all sorts of different kinds of testing or product evaluations. In particular, if you're looking at software development, you have different types of testing such as unit testing to test individual components and integration testing to see how those components work together. There's black box testing in which you check to make sure that it functions the way that it should, but without knowing exactly what's going on inside. White box testing in which you look at the actual code and inspect the quality of the code and test it based on how it works on the inside. You can test the interfaces to different objects. You can do regression testing to make sure things that used to work still work. Then you can do alpha testing, beta testing, which involves people external to your organization before the product's been released, and also things like stress testing, in which you check to see how much of a load the system can handle, such as how many users or how many transactions it can handle. Other types of testing in the construction industry, if you're building a building, you may need to test the soil and make sure that it's suitable for the type of building you're putting there. And as you pour cement, you may need to check the cement strength to make sure that it will support the structure. There are also numerous data representation techniques, especially control charts that are applicable to control quality, as well as histograms and scatter diagrams that you can use to evaluate how well things are working, and cause and effect diagrams to explore issues. Also, meetings in which you can review approved change requests and hold retrospectives and generate lessons learned. The main outputs of the control quality process are the quality control measurements that feed into manage quality, and the verified deliverables and work performance information that then go on to verify scope, which is used to get acceptance from the users. You may also create change requests because of your need to change certain baseline documents, as well as changes to other documents. Your inputs are primarily your quality management plan, of course, for the rules that you need to follow, but also the quality metrics that you need to be measuring and test evaluation documents coming from your managed quality process that give you the templates and guidelines you need to follow to monitor and control quality, as well as the deliverables and work performance data that you need in order to verify deliverables. You may also need to review some approved change requests that can include preventive and corrective actions that you need to take, as well as some enterprise environmental factors and organizational process assets. There are a number of different tools and techniques, from checklists and check sheets and statistical sampling and such, to performance reviews and root cause analysis, the old standby of inspection, testing, and product evaluations, as well as using tools such as your control charts, histograms, and scatter diagrams, and as always, meetings. To summarize the differences between managed quality and control quality, managed quality is about translating the quality management plan into those quality activities that need to be performed. It guides the control quality process and manages quality audits and outputs the quality report, whereas control quality is about measuring the results, the quality control measurements, and verifying deliverables to make sure that they meet your quality requirements. Most of this information comes from the PMBOK guide on these pages, as well as some other sources online. PM Ready is a publication of PM Guaranteed and is based on the Project Management Institute's PMBOK guide.